Israel and its colonial comrades who failingly seek to eviscerate every seed of resilience wherever it threatens to sprout. Just today, 5 Palestinians were killed as they were collecting firewood, which they were only collecting because of Israel's siege, limiting fuel and cooking gas. Our skepticism is justified as we look to the onslaught in the West Bank, as Zionist forces have decimated Tulkarem, my father's hometown. They have decimated it from its refugee camps to its agricultural havens, to the very soil that sits outside my grandfather's home in Dinnerbe. Over 48 consecutive days of intensive and escalating brutality, forcing tens of thousands out of their homes. Our skepticism is justified when we look to the invasion of Jenin, soon entering into its 3rd month. Jenin, where you find a defiant hub of resistance, one which has established itself and defied its oppressor over decades through armed struggle against Israel. Jenin, where we are witnessing sites of mass displacement, of home demolitions, of Palestinians, young and old alike, being shot dead in the streets. Are these types of scenes not familiar? Are they not reminiscent? In fact, are they not carbon copies of the same crimes that have been committed again and again and again by the Zionist regime, day after day, month after month, decade after decade? Who can look us in the eye and truly say that the Nakba started and stopped in 1948? That Palestinians only suffer periodical atrocities which have beginnings and ends? One thing is clear, that the colonization and destruction of Palestinian lives has not ceased since the Zionist ideology first emerged and manifested itself as a physical, violent presence in stolen land. We, as supporters of the Palestinian pursuit of liberation, recognize the cyclicality of history, the repercussions of corruption which thread their way through each and every one of our lives in many different forms. We, as supporters of the Palestinian pursuit of liberation, reject the false dichotomy that is shoved down our throats. We reject any assertion that Palestine is for anyone else except Palestinians, and we recognize that colonial collaboration, that shared tactics are still loud and clear between the likes of the US and Israel. We see this colonial collaboration reflected in the continual injustices we are witnessing occur to Palestinian voices and those who seek to amplify them, as we have seen with Mahmoud Khalil, a Palestinian activist held by American state authorities without due process, in what is effectively a state kidnapping for merely speaking out against Israel and the horrors it has committed. Is this not reminiscent of the Palestinians who are silenced by Israeli forces in occupied lands merely for speaking out and resisting against their oppressor? Is this not reminiscent of Palestine Action activists who are held in British jails merely for speaking out and taking action against genocide, against ethnic cleansing? This is why damaging the lives of the damaging Israel unequivocally, and this brutality, this theft, this dehumanization will not cease until we force it to, until we put a stop to it, until Israel ceases to exist. And I have no doubt in my mind that this is possible, and we will see this day come, that the possibility of overcoming and destroying Israel is reflected in the countless victories we have witnessed at the hands of local communities, of like-minded coalitions, of organizations like Pro-Palestine Action, who have laid out the blueprint to truly damage the regime and its allies. We know the way forward. forward. The way forward is not to relent. It is to refuse to let the passage of time numb the urgency of our demand. It is to continue to resist, and we will resist. Senukawim, Senukawim, Senukawim. The hands to share the value from a Syrian government. We will resist, we will resist, we will resist until we witness the freedom of Palestine from the river to the sea.
Israel, I don't know how you define a ceasefire, but it's definitely not shelling the fishing boats of the young man trying to fight food for his people who are starving. I don't know how you define a ceasefire, but it's not using your drones to kill a Palestinian child. I don't know how you understand international humanitarian law, but it's not blocking absolutely all aid for 2 weeks. The word ceasefire means nothing to the Zionist entity. Their project is the genocide of Palestinian people. International law and proclamations of ceasefire won't stop that. The word ceasefire rings hollow as they continue to drop their bombs. Ceasefire means nothing to the child starving in their tents in Beirut with their best friends killed in a drone strike on his tent. How does the word ceasefire console the mother who just wants her child? As long as the genocidal settler colonial state exists, Palestinians will continue to be massacred, to be starved, to be displaced. Likewise, as long as the genocidal settler colonial state exists, there will be resistance. There will be resistance in Gaza. There will be resistance in Tulkarem. There will be resistance in Jenin. There will be resistance in Nablus. As long as our corrupt imperial powers prop up the Zionist entity, there will be resistance in Britain. There will be resistance in the US. There will be resistance in Germany. There will be resistance across Europe. You can censor us. You can beat us. You can imprison us. But the global intifada will continue until the struggle, will continue the struggle until total liberation. We won't stop until the complete end of occupation. Brave comrades from Palestine Action took to the roof of Allianz this week in Manchester. Their message was clear: stop providing services to Elbit Systems, Israel's biggest weapons manufacturer. This is the kind of action we must continue on the streets of Britain. There can be nowhere for genocide profiteers to hide. We must dismantle the Zionist entity in its whole, breaking down global imperialism as we go. It is everyone here's responsibility to continue globalizing the intifada. Boycott when you shop. Force companies into divestment. Pressure the government into sanctions. The road to liberation is long, but we travel it with comrades from across the globe. And one day, we will see a free Palestine from the river to the sea. We won't stop until the end of occupation. Today, ceasefire, tomorrow, liberation. We won't stop till the end of occupation. Today, ceasefire, tomorrow, liberation. Thank you.
Netherlands, Canada, Australia. Sorry. But they make a considerable part of the F-35s. They do that at Samsbury, and in Barrow, BAE make parts for Trident submarines. They're making now the first Dreadnought submarine for the new Trident system. Barrow is dominated by the shipyard, visually, politically, economically and psychologically. There are very few other jobs available in the town, and BAE like to get together with the RAF and the Navy and hold events to tell people about their generous sponsorship and about the opportunities for their children to join apprenticeship programs. But middle class of Barrow are very poor. The town needs investment in good green jobs and in jobs that are good for our community, our society and for the world at large, not in weapons of mass destruction. The UK is going to spend £200 million on Trident over its lifetime. And yet the watchdog, which looks at how the progress is going, says that the whole project seems to be unachievable. They're making the reactors at Rolls-Royce in Derby, and they've got so many problems, it looks like they'll never manage to create the reactors needed. The warheads are being made at all. The government is involved in that. Keir Starmer likes to say that he could fire a Trident missile independently of the US. But the establishment is actually terrified about what's going to happen now to their so-called independent deterrent, now that Trump can't be trusted to support Britain. The missiles are made in the US, at least from there. The warheads are designed in the US. The whole program is controlled by the US and NATO. So now, more than ever, is the time to scrap our nuclear weapons and develop a foreign policy based on peace, diplomacy and global justice. Multiple warheads, and every warhead has 30 times the destructive power of the bombs dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So it's a complete obscenity, and now is the time to say, let's get rid of Trident, let's have a completely different foreign policy, let's stop supplying F-35s to Israel. Just recently, 230 international organisations came together to demand that all the countries involved in the F-35 programme must stop immediately. And yet just last week, a British government minister said the UK has given it lots of thought and realised that the F-35s are essential for international peace and stability, and they have to be taken apart. And the fight to get rid of nuclear weapons and create a just future to stop the rearmament of Europe, which is now set to use all the money that we need for our social services and our health. It's all one fight for a better future. So I hope some of you will come to Barrow next week. There's a coach organised by CAD that leaves Chorlton Street at 9:30. So it's not an early one, 9:30 from Chorlton Street. And if you're interested in going, go to the Friends of Palestine store and put your name down with a phone number or an email, and somebody will get in touch and book you a ticket. Thank you. Free Palestine.
Hi guys. I trust you all see the banner in front of you written that UOM must cut ties with Tel Aviv University. Now, military research and development in Israel would not exist without the universities. They carry out all the basic scientific investigations. Those are not my words. Those are the words of Amos Yadlin, a former Major General of the Israeli occupying forces and a professor within Tel Aviv University. Tel Aviv University has never made a secret of its unwavering and steadfast dedication to the Israeli army. But the thing is, calling it simply steadfastness is misleading. Tel Aviv University does not just stand by the Israeli army, it is the Israeli army. It's the Israeli army's recruitment wing. It has not one, not two, but 4 programs that funnel students into the Israeli occupying forces. The Eretz program, a Bachelor of Arts that allows students to learn complex and integral military modules while walking through the corridors of Tel Aviv University in full military combat gear. The Galim Master of Science program, the Arazim Master of Science program, the Sagat Master of Science program, all engineering programs that funnel their Master of Science students right into Israel's technological army. Remember Yadlin's words and look at the absolute field day that Israel's largest arms company had at Tel Aviv University's grounds. Elbit System, Israel's largest arms company, has access to all the research that Tel Aviv University does in its bio-robotic labs. The largest amount of IOM recruits come from Tel Aviv University's engineering faculty, because Israel knows that it cannot commit the crimes that it has committed without technological intellect, without ethical doctrines being created in its favor, without law professors sitting down and debating the amount of Palestinians it will be ethical to kill for one Israeli. It knows it can't do this without its universities, without Tel Aviv universities. So when we say that the University of Manchester must cut ties with Tel Aviv University, we are demanding that the University of Manchester cut ties with the Israeli army. It is not an exaggeration. It is not an exaggeration. It is a cold, hard fact. A cold, hard fact that the University of Manchester does not just have a faraway tie with an Israeli university. No, the University of Manchester has actively produced information, intellect, money, and weaponry for the Israeli army through its partnership with Tel Aviv University. Because where does do all of those papers go? And where do all of those academic research go? They go right into the Israeli army. Because Tel Aviv University is not a university. There is no separation between civilian entities and military entities in Israel. Civilian entities, academic entities like Tel Aviv University have been created to uphold Israel's occupation. And by University of Manchester continuing to keep its ties with Tel Aviv University, it also upholds, by extension, the Israeli occupation. Academic economics professor Milton Friedman once wrote a paper arguing that we needed large disasters to push through large economic and capital reforms. Fast forward to 2025, and Donald Trump is talking about rebuilding Gaza after the devastating genocide it has gone through. You think he's talking nonsense? I say he's talking about stuff that was written about way before he became president. I stand here and once and for all, I reject and I urge you all to reject the baseless argument that the University of Manchester says that it is academically neutral. You cannot ever pride academic neutrality. It's fundamentally untrue. It is fundamentally incorrect because academia cannot be neutral. Calling academia neutral is like calling a students of the University of Manchester, and you, the community that support us, are now standing not only in support of Palestine, but because we know that the hammer of academia should be used to build houses. We know that our intellect must be used for good. We know that our research, our papers, the hours and hours of work we put on the grindstone should only be used for the good of our fellow human beings. We refuse to be torn into murderers. I refuse to be turned into a murderer. My fellow students refuse to be turned into a murderer. And we will fight to the bitter end until the University of Manchester stops arming Israel.
What an amazing, amazing, amazing set of speeches. Big round of applause for everyone who spoke. It's absolutely heartwarming to see the level of solidarity that has been maintained here in Manchester and the amount of opportunities that we have to get involved in taking action for Palestine. We've heard a couple of them, and I'm going to talk about a couple more. We've got next Saturday, the 22nd, there will be a demonstration here, although there may be some local actions yet to be confirmed, but we will be supporting the demonstration against BAE in Barrow and its shameless participation in manufacturing weapons dripping in Palestinian blood. On Tuesday, the 25th, there will be a coach to Shenston for the demonstration outside UAB. UAB Engines is a subsidiary, for those of you who don't know, of Elbit Systems, which is the largest weapons manufacturer for Israel. They manufacture, UAV manufacture the engines powering the Hermes 450 drone, which the Israeli military describes as the backbone of their air force. So I need not say any more as to why this justifies our action against them. If you wish to join the demonstration on the 25th, please speak to the local people in the store behind you where the flag is waving. They'll undoubtedly assist. Saturday 29th, we will be resuming our Manchester City Centre protests, which have been ongoing consistently since October 7th. The protest will be to commemorate Land Day, which occurs on the 30th of every year and serves to honour and commemorate the brutal slaughter of 6 Palestinian martyrs who were fighting for their land, as well as to signify the ongoing struggle against Zionist settler colonialism and to demand the right of Palestinians return to the land from which they were so abhorrently expelled. There is so much we can do. I've listed just 3 of countless. We are all individuals who have become part of a collective, one which strives to improve the state of affairs as we see it, and one day, whether or not we live to see it, those of us here live to see it, our efforts will come to fruition in the form of a liberated Palestine. And so, with that, we will commence our march. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to hear muted voices today. I want you to be shouting at the top of your lungs, because this is a message that we need to spread throughout the streets of Manchester. It is important that we do so. So repeat after me. Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! End apartheid! End apartheid! Decolonize!
won't stop till the end of occupation. We won't stop till the end of occupation. Today's ceasefire, tomorrow liberation. Today's ceasefire, tomorrow liberation. We won't stop till the end of occupation. We won't stop till the end of occupation.
What is it for?
Oh, it's the pro-Palestinian protest. They do it every Saturday. They do it in most cities like Leeds. This is a bit bigger than most of them. There's a massive one today in London, a huge one. Yeah, every Saturday.
Palestinian blood! In Palestinian blood! Palestinian blood! in Britain or in all of Europe. We will continue to unite together and take action until they come to terms with Israel and until the Israeli state doesn't have the backing of all of these big companies making profit out of their war crimes. Is the people united will never be defeated. 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 The people united will never be Intifada, intifada. There is only one solution. Intifada revolution. Intifada revolution.